So Sonya says, grown my ear. Ernest says, can you put $5 on it so I can go off on him? So then she says, it's recorded for YouTube. Sonya, you can't say nothing exciting to them. So then Sonya says, I'll put $3 on it. Wow. Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. This is a celebrity crime and hot topics channel. Thanks for watching. Special shout out to all my members. Thanks for being a part of the exclusive foodie community. You're getting early access to content and exclusive content. Check out the link in the description box to join. Hello. Let's get back on these text messages. I've been trying to stay with the texts and the calls around the same time, but I veered off a little bit and went back to September of 2023. Let's get back to 12/9/2023. Nesto is trying to get Sonya to call Dre, to get Dre, persuade him to do something else for this fool, persuade him to get on Sonya's channel to, I guess, talk about Nesto's character. Nesto talks about Deon like a dog. You know, we have Sonya, who in present day is saying that Madison, aka Cougar, is not her friend, yet she's partying with Madison, you know, like they're ace boon coons. But we know how Sonya like to lie. So anyway, I'll read this last text. I might have read it on the next video, and I don't think a lot of y'all watched that last text message video, so I'll try to link it somewhere here. So y'all can catch up on that. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, let's get started. Let's see. Okay. Nesto says, 12/9. I'll call them. I think he'll do it if you ask him, because the last time I talked to him, all the lawyers he meant to say bloggers because he corrects it in the next message. The last time I talked to him, all the bloggers trying to reach out to him, and it will get to him first, if that makes sense. He's off today. Today will be a perfect time for you to have a conversation today. So get on him. Please call him today. That would be contribute to the Innocent Project. Free Nesto. Nesto, that's why your stuff never sound legible or literate, because you're trying to con somebody. Can't even understand who gonna call who in that text. Ernest. Didn't mean to say lawyers, I meant to say bloggers, because it has a unique Barry White old school voice. So if you get in front of the camera today, make sure you have some nice Ray-Ban sunglasses for him at home, because he's not good in front of the camera. Y'all think he think Drake gonna get on camera? That would give him more confidence and let his words flow. That's what they do in Hollywood when they're not comfortable in front of the cameras, on set, doing interviews. He said he wanted to check them people for lying and twisting their stories, because he just didn't know which way to go. Now that you have made your impact, I know for sure he has seen your powerful message, and I know he know everything that's going on in the YouTube world concerning me. So yes, you know for sure for the situation. So yes, get on that today. I know you mad at him, but I told you if he got it or not, he'll tell you straight up what's going on. They said I already told you his personality. Now the Black community has experienced why he's around me, as you have taken the torch to the next level. So he's waiting on you to instruct him on the next move. You go, champ, with a million smiley faces. Sonya, no, I don't want it on the recorded calls. Okay. Ernest, I understand what you're saying. Yes, he will do that. One-on-one talk with you. Just you two, or a video with me in it today. He's going to get a fresh haircut. So just call him and explain to him what you're trying to do. This is my life. Thank you, Ernest. Excuse me for my typing today. I'm a little off today. I meant a video with you because he don't need to, I guess, do nothing with other bloggers because they will change his whole conversation. But you two ask each other questions across the board in detail live. Sonya then says, got it, babe. Ernest, and don't forget you set up your fund me today. Sonya, yes, my love. I need to find a video that has that GoFundMe on there. Ernest, good morning, my love. This is 12:10. Sonya, good morning, handsome meow. Sonya, I love you more today. Ernest, Jeff Filipovitz, Esquire, and Miguel Dominguez, Esquire, and Zach Greenemeyer, Esquire, are the attorneys that represented the trans woman who was arrested for fake drugs and stress ball. The case was 2015. I will make calls tomorrow after I Google the three to see who has the best reviews. Love you. Thank you for today, for your motivation and courage. You look very nice as usual. This is the information you sent me about the lawyer. Nesto. Forget about it. Ernest, I love you. 12:11. Sonya, you're so cute. Girl, do you have your glasses on? Ernest, here's the attorney names that you was looking for so you can get started with that today. And then he sends the names again. He sends the same message, similar message, I guess. Represent that transgender woman. Thank you for the beautiful pictures. I got them. Ernest says, today I'm going to write the law library to get some power attorney legal papers and notarized so you can be authorized to take care of my legal impersonal things, because I do not want estranged wife to handle my affairs on this new matter with these attorneys, because they will be dealing with federal court situation. Okay. So it's Nesto's idea to do power of attorney. And Nesto, do you have a choice on if Shirley deals with it or not? Who are you trying to fool, dude? She can't, she won't handle it. She'll refuse. Sonya, 12:11. File for legal separation. That takes her off your affairs. But I'm wondering what's going on with that. No worries. Love you. Ernest, 12:12. Good morning, love. Sonya, good morning, babe. I can't wait till you get out. Not being able to speak freely is crazy. Dang, YouTube. Don't worry about us. We ain't doing nothing but just listening. Ernest, this is why I need a real attorney to take care of those YouTube manners. I'm hoping someone take the case so I can be handled in a proper way. It's like I'm already a dead man. I'm just throwing my hands up and figuring it out what the F is going on. If I really wanted to vent, who can I call for a private conversation? No one. It's like I'm in a zombie world. It's too late to put a gag order on the bloggers because it's already been 4 people requesting my phone calls from public records. I know they still working on that attorney that's been doing it for 11 years. And ask him, did I do anything wrong in the interview? Because I still don't trust those last 2 court dates I had was not professional. Last night I was sitting down and this guy was talking about his attorney and he called the name out and he said he was scared to talk in the courtroom. This is like the 4th person that told me that there was a sign from God, a confirmation I got to get a lawyer or I would be signing myself for a life sentence. The investigator said trust the process, but yet he told me he can't do anything until he gets more information. I said to myself, you did all the work with no information? That is crazy. Ah. All right, so let's look at this. So he's saying it's already too late for the gag order stuff because 4 people have already requested his phone calls. So, We know who those are. So why did they put it in? Why did they put in for the gag order if it's too late? And you knew that. So why'd you waste the time doing it? So, his text be messed up. So he says, I hope they still working on that attorney that's been doing it for 11 years. Who is they? Do you mean Sonya? All right, moving on. Ernest. So the old head gave me this best advice a long time ago. When it get dark in the house, cockroaches come out. It's like you're trying to fight a million cockroaches by yourself, and no one is listening while you're screaming. The remedy to that is you got to put some light on it. Means that you got to hit they ear in their pocket to get their attention. That's how you win conversation back and forth. That's what black people do. Oh my God. That's what black people do. White people hit your ear in the pocket where they can't get up. So when you hit them with that bright light, what they do, oh my God. What do they do? Flip on their back because they can't take the pressure on that light when money is funny. So let the attorney do the work for you like an exterminator and take your house back. Oh my God, Jesus. Take your house back? Is he talking about Miss Janet's house? Or is he just speaking figuratively about a house? Nesto, I cannot decipher what you're talking about with these cockroaches. Moving on. Sonya, it is too crazy. They need to push all those cases to civil. They need to push for the indictment or release now because there's nothing else the prosecutor can do as far as researching anything. We do need character witnesses for the grape situation. I have to get the police report and the people who were involved in jumping her and see who else they may know that could testify about her character. Yeah, because that means Nesto didn't do it. Okay, if she's a horrible person, that means Nesto didn't do it. In this climate, most attorneys are bad. That's just what it is. But we're going to push and hope we get this money up for the new attorney. I don't trust none of them. And yes, reading the warrants about Calvin's case and how he was acting as if he didn't know you, I find that weird, as if you were a stranger to him. But did he take Calvin's money? That's the important part. Sonya, call me. Sonya, a blogger wrote on the site to the bloggers and my fellow people who believes some grand conspiracy untruthfulness during the interview was unveiled about Sonya was wrong. What blogger did this? Roswell police was exposed. Roswell police was exposed. Roswell PD overstepped, and when they realized this was no ordinary person and that he may have the resources to fight back, they did a smear campaign rolling out charges, including, so this is what a blogger wrote. When they realized he had the resources to fight back, they did a smear campaign rolling out charges, including CP or something else people are repulsed by, to run off any support except real friends Sonya and Dre acknowledge Nesto have been there for them when no one else did. Shirley knew the man she married was a womanizer, but they were in love. Okay, is this Sylvia saying this? But they were in love. All victims were coerced. Kohorst. Coerced. That almost sounds like the type of sausage. Coerced. Jesus. With inducements. Okay, did she copy and paste this? Because if she copied and pasted this probably was infamous Sylvia that typed this. I don't believe Sonya would retype all this. Sonya probably copied and pasted this from some comment infamous Sylvia made on a post. What blogger is typing all of this? Where did they type it? Do y'all know in the comments? Okay, so Shirley knew the man she married was a womanizer, but they were in love. All victims were coerced with inducements or threats by Roswell. I know it sounds crazy if you have no experience working in criminal justice, but this is common and nothing in Sonya's interview or recorded calls are contradictory. Prospectively speaking, looking at Sonya's move, nonverbal behavior during the interview, her explanations, and the calls, I believe she was being truthful. Hey, support for your innocent. Oh, okay. Though hard to understand, some blogger wrote this somewhere. Okay. So we're supposed to look at Sonya's nonverbal movements, behavior during the interview. Being truthful about what? How can Sonya be truthful about something that happened in Nesto's life? Something Nesto did. She don't know. She thinks she's telling the truth. Sonya, 1212. Deon said, when you call him for his birthday, he will meet me with the papers. Sonya, but sent no money for the phones. He sounds like a whole kid. This ish is not a game. I'm monetized now on YouTube. Okay, well, make some money. Get out of his family affairs and make some money. All right, so on one of the previous Deon calls that I reacted to, y'all know they got Deon and Sonya got into it. After they hung up the phone, Sonya said she texted Deon. That's coming. But anyway, after Deon says, call me for my birthday, then we'll do the papers. We'll meet up for the papers. Deon gets on the phone call and says he don't want to talk about the papers. Nesto then tries to remind him on the call to meet up with Sonya. And then after the call, Sonya texts Deon and Deon sends her a voice note cussing her out. This is so, it's just too much. Okay. So she's worried about him sending money for the calls when she spent googobs on calls already and another $10, $15 so he can work out the business with his son. Shouldn't hurt her. But okay, that's just my thinking. I know Deon's grown, but still, that's just my thinking. Sonya. Okay, sorry. Ernest says, dang, what a big A baby. I'll spoil the H out of him. I don't think he realized how serious this ish is. Thank you. Is he going to meet you today or put you off again? Sonya, he wants a birthday call first and didn't send no money. TF, grown my ale. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is just so crazy to me. I mean, I know Deon probably didn't have the money, but something is up with this. I'm leaning towards Deon also saying, I'm not wasting my money on a phone call. Get Sonya to do it. I'm teetering on him saying, Sonya got it. Make Sonya do it. Just like he gets Shirley to spend money for this and that and this and that. He wants Nesto's gal to spend the money on the calls. That could be it too. On top of him not having, a lot of change, and on top of him not knowing how to work the call system or the app or whatever. It's just too much. And they know, Deon know Nesto been down this road a quadrillion times. Hopefully he'll get out if he shut up. That's probably another thing he's thinking. He'll be out soon if he shut up. All right. So Sonya says, grown my ale. Ernest says, can you put $5 on it so I can go off on him with the kid games? Okay, so he does ask Sonya to put something on. Nesto, why did you just ask for $5 to go off on him when you didn't go off on him? What you said was, I'm trying my best not to go off. No, you told Sonya to spend her $5 so you could go off. I'm sure she only spent the $5 so you could go off. And you didn't even go off. That's why she ain't put no more money on there. Man. So then she says, it's recorded for YouTube. And I'm still trying to figure out how you getting on your YouTube talking about stuff, but you worrying about everything else being on YouTube. So then Ernest says, okay, love you. Okay, so that's why he didn't go off, because Sonya said it's going to be on YouTube? Sonya, you can't say nothing exciting to them. Y'all, I am just outdone with this. Nothing exciting? Who talks like that? And then didn't Nesto repeat it and Deon said Deon went off on Nesto? Who cares about this being on the call, man? Talk about what you need to talk about. Communicate what you need to communicate so that y'all can stop spending so much money on the calls. This is crazy. So then Sonya says, I'll put $3 on it. Wow. Now see, Nesto should have went off on her. But he tucked his balls and kept it moving. Then Sonya says, I'm not doing any extra pressure. Your team talk mad-ish on them calls. I heard Dre and Junior. I have no problem supporting what you want, but dang, I go through enough. Love you. So putting $2 extra on a call is gonna have you going through so much more. That don't make no sense. What you saying don't make no sense. You heard him talk mad-ish about what? You ain't heard Nesto talk mad-ish by now? Whew, okay. It's only been 4 months. All right, okay. Wow, y'all. So 12:13. Ernest says, good morning. I truly understand where you're coming from, because after that phone call last night, I keep trying to give people benefit of the doubt. When it comes down to me, it's always an excuse that they make up between those 3 men, especially Junior. First, he said his car got shot up. So this is after the phone call where Deon and Sonya kind of have their little spat. Sonya's trying to rush him because she's only put $3 on the phone. Deon tries to just get with Nesto and tell him, man, screw this stuff. You should have had your ducks in a row. You should have had people in position, yada, yada, yada. All right. Okay. So first he said his car got shot up and almost died. Now had totaled his car when it's raining. I didn't want to talk to him for his birthday. Whoa. I called him and I know he didn't have no money on there. And I wasn't going to ask nobody either, especially you, because I knew it was nothing but BS when I called. That's why I like those 3 men, because they telling me something I already know. Nesto, that's why I like those 3 men, because they telling me something I already know. Okay, well, don't talk to nobody then. Just talk to Sonya. See where that gets you. See how pleasant your stay is just talking to Sonya. How much more pleasant has his stay been not talking to his son, his bestie, and his brother? How much more pleasant was it, y'all? This ungrateful, obnoxious SOB. Man. So you didn't want to talk to your son for his birthday. Wow. That hurts. I'm hurting for Deon. So let's go back to these illiterate text. That's why I like those three men, because they're telling me something I already know that has anything to do with me. Everybody seems like they get to talk ish but me. And the reason why I didn't go all the way in, because you know I will. No, you don't. Is because it's about what you told me about recording calls. Because I'm tired. Sometimes people got all the ish in their mouth and let it come out at the wrong time and don't realize it's the people that's helping him and the situations. But yet no one can say I was negative toward anyone on this journey, on those phone calls that I deal personally in the past, because I always say the same thing. No matter what is the truth since day one. You are truly been there for me with the highest respect, and you're operating on a quarter tank of fuel of energy, and these fat with their stomach over their belt, ooh, can even move and operate the way you have. It's incredible to you. I thought I was 10 years ahead of my time. I hope he's not talking about, even though he could be, I hope he's not talking about Lamont and Dre with their bellies hanging over their belt. I hope he's just generally speaking. Because that's cold. That's cold. He always trying to call somebody fat. He showed up to the courthouse one day looking as small as Sonya by the neck. Y'all remember Nesto's neck looked like a broomstick? Oh my God. So hey, we could really blame Nesto. Blame Nesto. Nesto don't want to hear the truth. He don't want to hear the truth. He wants Sonya to he'll sit on the phone with Sonya all day because she sugarcoats stuff and blame all the victims. See where that got you. See where that got you? You over here doing this fake religious stuff with Sonya, trying to shove the fake religious stuff down Sonya's throat. She don't want to hear it, but you could be doing that, talking about the Lord with your son and your brother and your bestie. All them love the Lord. But you want to talk about the Lord with Sonya. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Ernest says, and people thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. I just had dreams and goals, and I feel you are my twin for real. By listening to you, it seems like you have the same experience in the past. You have been toting people on your back who was always talking ish, but never had no motivation to do anything. What I learned in the past 6 months with these phone calls, the new age people in technology is running wild. So he talking about Sonya toting people on her back. Y'all need to check out Phone Calls from Prisons membership, because she dropped a call that kind of lets us in on Sonya loving to take care of her meals. So y'all need to go over there and check that out. Maybe that's what Nesto's talking about when Sonya was taking care of her meals. All her meals. Okay, I learned in the past 6 months with these phone calls, the new age people in technology is running wild. It seems like no one is real anymore, and people assume and speak on things, and they think they know what they don't. Is no man in the world would trade in a fight for something that's real for a fake life. What we have with our relationship with you and I is like the 70s, when you can go to your neighbors and to get some eggs and milk, and it was genuine, and no matter what was the disagreement and fight in the household, the woman can talk bad about the man like a dog because it was her man, but no one else could. And she would be like a wild wolf when it came down to disrespecting her man. That's that old school love. We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there with old school love, do we? So I respect totally what I have right now. What I didn't like last night is never said he respected you, because he don't give a about her, man. Why do you want somebody to give up my son? You don't nobody care about that wench. Now see, these texts making the man. Y'all, Sonya must know voodoo. Because if Nesto is the person that he says he is, and even other people have said he is, why is he so misled and so blinded by Sonya? Why is he so amazed and impressed by Sonya. What is it, y'all? You want your son who's still fighting for your marriage with his stepmama, who he loves and honors. You want your son to talk about his respect for Sonya? He says, what I didn't like last night is never said he respected you for trying to save my life and the beat down that you have taken from society to prove my innocence. That was the most shocking thing to me, was disappointing. He act like you owed him something, but yet talking about that raggedy air house. I try not to get my blood pressure up because sometimes you can say things and not take it back. Oh. Oh. Oh, y'all. I'm kind of amped up. Can y'all tell? I just listened to a call from September of 2023 where Deon was talking about the house and talking about how the house don't look the same. I guess he's made some improvements on the house and how the brother doesn't live there anymore. Nesto talking about the man house. I was wondering, do Deon have a house? Deon say he got a house, y'all. And Nesto say it's raggedy. But that's his daddy. Ooh, bless him, Lord, bless him, Lord. Po Deon. Ernest. That's why I do a lot of listening now. I'm 1,000 happy. You forgot the percent sign. I'm 1,000 happy with the decision. Whatever drew me to you, that magnetic energy, most people would have been selfish with our different situations. Your health condition, my incarceration, being made out to be made Frankenstein or Dracula, complete monster. And in my eyes, everything is included by listening to someone who's just like me. You will put yourself on in a line of fire for people who didn't have the courage to defend themselves or complete jealousy. It's no need to meet with Junior anymore. Wait a minute. Why did that not come? It says it didn't come through until 12:19, but he sent it on 12:13, and she got it because she texted him. She texted Deon and said, "Your dad said we don't need to meet anymore." And then she lied and told Deon that Nesto was gonna off himself and all that bull. Okay, I'm steering. Let me get back. He said, it's no need to meet with Junior anymore about those papers. It's clearly none of this matters to him. Going to sign those papers and give them to Lewis and just be done with that. Sometimes you got to cut your losses. Yesterday, I got a great confirmation, one with the lawyer with wrong counseling, and Junior stuck on stupid. I don't need to put no more stress on you than you already have. In my eyes, it's clearly understood in the public. She told you she not stressed, Nesto. She told you she's fine. She can handle it. She stepped it up. She is the head hussy in charge. She good. She told you that. I don't understand how $2 more or $10 more would stress her out. She's not stressed. So he's talking about Krell with the wrong counseling and Junior, don't forget what he said, y'all, stuck on stupid. Okay? It's clearly understood in the public this support system is down to one person. The only thing I gain, what was positive, that one person is you. The only thing I got positive. Yesterday was the confirmation from those two things and the blogger comment that was sent to me yesterday and the Bumpy Johnson story that Deon told you. Oh, maybe he didn't tell him yet. Because I can identify to that. You will be telling my story because the way you dictate your father, I can totally reconcile the way he used to think. Oh, Lord, let's still think he's smart. So I know my story will be told by a great woman because after all, that was said last night, the most important part, he didn't say, oh, that Bumpy Johnson had a girlfriend. Okay, he did tell him the story. Okay. So he did. So Nesto, I mean, but I cut that part out. I didn't want to hear about Bumpy Johnson. Okay. So it's the only thing that said Bumpy Johnson had a girlfriend. Well, you know Bumpy Johnson had a girlfriend, but anyway. All right, so then Sonya says that's exactly right. Sometimes you cannot engage in people's conversations too deep. Just let them talk and think what they want to think. It's so hard to change a person's mind, so why bother if it's not that serious? I feel the same way. It is like the 70s, LOL. I just wish your team was a lot better, but okay. Not everybody's built for it, and you didn't completely raise your children. Doom, doom, doom. Shots fired. It was more than mothers, and a lot of women show negative emotions around their children and do not realize it affects them as an adult. Going through this, I realized how much hate females push out in the world and never take accountability, which is everything. Girl, who you talking about? We'll be okay. I'm strong enough for the both of us. As much as you try to be in his life, he was mostly raised by his mother, and it shows. So how do you take any credit for raising Tomas if you kept him around men? You know, she claims that she kept Tomas around male figures. So do you get any credit for the man he is today? You can't have both. She's sick in the head. She is so sick in the head. So all your sisters just pump out negativity, so all their kids are effed up too, right? All right. So she said we'll be okay. As much as they try to be in his life, most of it in the shows. No shade. I'll try to meet, and she said no shade. No, ma'am, it was shade. I'll try to meet with him today to get the paperwork, but I'm done after that. I can't cater to that type of personality. He needs to set up a text on his phone so he can text you directly. Good morning, my love. Sonya, you're handsome. How's your heart emotionally? I'm trying to run errands before the baby comes over. I miss you. Oh, Lord. And I'm sure by now in the video visit, she's talked about this baby. 12/13, same day. Ernest, that's why so he sent in the same message. I guess it had come back, but it did eventually go through. All right. That's the same messages about Frankenstein and Dracula. All right, Bumpy Johnson. They didn't say he had a girlfriend, so then he added something else. Okay, they didn't say he had but he did. I guess he did have a girlfriend that had the background support that pushed him to do more because she understood his hustle mentally because his father was the same way. That's how she obtained her riches. I'm sorry, her father was the same way. That's how she obtained her riches and how she got her generation wealth. Yeah, but you're not like Sonya's father, Nesto. I don't recall her saying that Chuck went to jail. Maybe she left out that part. He was a womanizer, but he didn't stay in and out of jail. Ernest, correction. It's supposed to be my health condition, not healed conditions. My bad for typo. Yeah, okay, I'm lost. Sonya, it's cool. We're solid, flaws and all. So then Sonya says, your dad told me not to worry about... Okay, I'll read this and stop because I put it in the call reaction with Deon and Nesto and Sonya. Deon and Sonya having their fallout. Sonya told Nesto on the phone call that she texted Deon and Deon sent her a voice recording calling her a bitch. So here's the text Sonya sent Deon. Your dad told me not to worry about meeting you for the paperwork, and I'm going to say this. But you told Nesto you was going to meet him. And you can get mad, but I feel like it is sad that his whole family shows very little support, and the little help that I do ask for to save this man's life, I cannot get. This man is looking at the rest of his life in prison. in which he said he will off himself if he gets sentenced 10 or more years. He's not going to jail for something he did not do. So that's going to be on your conscience and the rest of whoever supposedly cares for this man. I think it's sad that me alone is trying to save this man's life. And don't worry about calling me anymore. I'm done. If you want to contact him, you need to set up the text system through GTL on your phone like I did when I found him in August of 2022 in jail. I sent this to your son. By this time, Sonya had already texted Dre some bull as well, saying don't call her anymore after asking him for 5 G's or whatever. This girl here, how does she hold a job if she can't talk? She don't know how to talk to people. All right, so Sonya sent Deon that message, and then Sonya texts Nesto and says he sent some audio response saying I'm on the phone talking to a married man. He don't trust me and called me a bitch. I expected that much from how he moved in the past. Okay, but I had to put it out there to him. Maybe he'll step his game up, maybe not. I'm sorry for that. For you, that this is your life. It's funny how people try to go for the marriage dig. That ship sailed when 2 men could get married. It's what you make it. Real talk. The only thing to focus on is your freedom. Everything else will sort itself out. So sorry. Love you. Yeah, it's going to sort itself out, all right. And 2 years later, you still going to be texting and calling that man in jail. Yeah, good job. Sonya did a bang-up job taking the lead, right? I think AK's POV mentioned, she's saying, something about people doing the marriage dig. It's not a dig. Nesto's married, and you're dealing with a married man. You have no business trying to free him, trying to talk to him, trying to do anything with him. Shirley wasn't privy to him fooling with you. I'm sure. I mean, if it was okay, she'd know, right? She'd know who you are. Am I right? So yeah, I mean, obviously it affects her or bothers her when people say something about her dealing with a married man. She always has her defense up, and it's a different lie every time she tries to defend it. But from what we've heard from these calls, it looks like most of the people Sonya talked to are married. Most of the guys she talked to are married. What's up with that? I'm going to say about 90% of my guy friends that I call like friends that I have more than, I guess, a 5-minute conversation with, 90% of them are not married. 90% of them are not married. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So then Sonya tells him to call her now, and that's when they have that phone conversation where she tells Nesto what Deon said because the text didn't go through right away. It was still pending. So yeah, this is all Nesto. I say all Nesto. I know Sonya is part of it too, but Nesto didn't play any of that right, because me in that situation, not to say that I'm that type of person, but I would have asked Sonya to go ahead and put the money on the calls for Deon so they could talk their business, get the stuff handled, but Nesto played that wrong. I don't know where he comes off demanding respect for Sonya when ain't nobody asked Sonya to do nothing. Deon and Dre didn't ask Sonya to do anything. So why do they need to pay homage and honor and respect and love and cherish this woman? Ain't nobody tell her to find Nesto and do nothing for they person. If she wouldn't have found, they might feel like he would be out by now. How about that? They might feel that way. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all check out the call reactions around this time. I think they're probably scattered. What I might need to do is put all of them, all the texts and calls in a playlist from let's say September to December. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. But anyway, shouts out to all my members, all of my subscribers. Thanks for supporting the channel. Check out the exclusive content. We are officially in Leo season and my birthday is coming up, y'all. I will be doing a birthday live. Well, I may react to some present day stuff that I have not reacted to, nor have I listened to. I haven't listened to some of that stuff yet. The current calls and visits. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.